you guys, and you like asked me all these questions, and like about my work. I showed you my artwork.
Oh, the artwork was just astounding. And in fact, we were kind of freaked out. She made us so much cooler than we already were.
Not true. Yeah, so we met, I showed you my work, and you guys were like, okay, you can come. You guys needed somebody to photograph and catalog his work because you guys couldn't keep up with it.
Yeah.
And first you needed to photograph all the work that was already here, and then to keep doing it as he was going because he was making so much artwork.
Yeah.
And so you're like, okay, you can come and do like an hour of photographing his work. John will set up a photo studio, and then you can bring your stuff, and like we'll clear out a little space where you can work for an hour on your own things.
This was John. I don't think like I could string those words together.
That was it was all John. Like,
Okay.
everything John. So you created this little task for me. So like I would come on Wednesdays at like meet him here at 8 o'clock, which I was always late. And we set up all the lights. He taught me how to set up all the lights. And I'd like manually change all the like apertures on the camera, hang the paintings straight.
You have to take like 4 or 5 and pick the best one to be.
Yeah.
Actually, it's kind of a good experience in a funny way. But
Yeah.
you saw a lot of James Hill work.
I saw so much. So much. So yeah, I'd take a cart and I'd make piles of paintings, probably like about this big, just like stack them up on top, and I'd pull the cart over, and then I'd hang them up and just go through and photograph each one. But it took so long because I had to like hang it perfectly straight, level, and then fix the lighting for each one, and then change the aperture for each one, depending on what time of day it was, because there's a window right next to me. And so yeah, so I did that, and then I would bring all my stuff. I was borrowing my parents' car, so I'd load up my shit into the back of their Prius. And I would like bring my stuff with me, and then after I was done working for about an hour, I'd sit down somewhere and work on some stuff. I did that for about 6 months.
I feel so bad that young people. I mean, it started a whole mission for me. Like I can't imagine my life without these people working. And they don't have to do anything.
I know. I did that for 6 months, and then I think around my birthday, I showed up and I was like, do you think I can bring my easel here? Because I was bringing my stuff back and forth from our house to here. And I was like, do you think I can bring my easel here? I want to work on this big painting. She's like, yeah. And then around my birthday, I left it here for like 3 days, and I wasn't here. And I came back, and you guys had cleared out like a whole studio space for me and made a little setup.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, like you've done enough work, you can have a studio space, you know? And that was like the most exciting thing for me. And that was like super, I feel like important for me in like my work, because I was able to like paint bigger and like expand on a lot of things, and every one of you guys taught me so much about different materials and artists.
It's all anybody does around here.
It's
just nothing bad happens to you. Just talk about art. Anything I ever talk to Sofia about, a book or anything, or just pictures, magazine, James too, just lay anything out, she'd devour it. Like, I mean, I couldn't believe it. I mean, give her a book and she'd read it in 2 weeks and come back and get excited and bring other stuff. So it was such an exchange of kind of visual material.
And you guys have the best like art book collection in the world. So many books, whole library. I just sit on the floor in front of the bookshelf and go through.
My James, he really hated gifts. He hated giving them and he hated getting them, except for books. So it's a lot of years of being together where the only that was the love language I guess. Art books, yeah. But what's funny is when you say, because I thought a lot about giving you a key, because I wanted, it was hard because she always said you had to check to see who was here and if you somehow you can get in. So people were here a lot, but
most of the time.
But you were 17, and I was kind of worried it was sketchier at night than it even is now.
Yeah.
But But anyway, I guess, did I wait till you're 18 to give you the key?
Yeah, until I was 18, yeah.
And then I was so, I think they're so happy to think of you being here and using it on her own and having her friends come over and stuff, which thrills me because it's just an art space, art that happened here. But now she was bothered because I told her I have given out 15 keys.
It took me so long to get a key, and she's like, yeah, I just like made a set of 15 and just been handing them off to people. And it works so hard to get a key.
But it was fantastic for me is all I can say is that she's the smartest kid I've ever met, and I shouldn't say that because my daughter might see this one. My daughter's whip smart, but she's and.
Isn't she a lawyer?
Yes, I got to say something slightly funny. I got to put a pitch for her because my husband and I were just so art centric that we never left the house that it wasn't for art. Vacations, food, every single thing we would eat at art. I mean everything.
Poor heart.
Yeah, and she then just said she wanted to go to law school, which to me is like doing homework for life. I mean, I can't imagine. I wanted an art life so badly. I wanted, from the time I was 7, I just wanted whatever that meant, an art life. And I never went out with a boy that was not an artist, ever. It was just, I mean, that was the cachet. I liked art more than them. And then for her to say she wanted to go to law school, but it's interesting to me now, she has no fear of art. And I think a lot of people feel intimidated by art. People that are not artists sort of think, oh, what am I supposed to think? Or, they're uneasy slightly. But the one accomplishment is that she totally gets, I mean, she's comfortable, she loves it, she gets it. But
she was raised around it and by artists.
But you can tell if it's not your thing.
For sure, yeah.
It's her thing.
It's her thing. You know, there's a painting behind you, Sofia, that says "Keep Going," and I'm wondering if the both of you could speak to that.
Well, this painting I made after James passed away was kind of like my response, or like kind of one of the first things I did after I finding out that he passed. And like James was very quiet and like a man of very few words. And like whenever he'd come, like see my work or like walk over to my like studio and see what I was doing, or Diana would show him something, he never gave me any advice. Like he never he'd never be like, your work's so good, or this isn't right, or like he never critiqued it, anything. All he would say was to keep going. That's all he would say every single time. He would be like, keep going. Like, yeah, keep going. No praise, no like critique. It was only keep going, because I think that he didn't. I feel like he just didn't want to like give any like.
I of course have an opinion about this myself, but I was always trying to talk him into stuff. Like he was really driven to make stuff.
Yeah.
But I would come in, because I have all this art exposure. I'd say, well, you should do this, and I love this about this, and he'd always smile and go, yeah. You would never pay any attention. Never paid any attention. And thank God, because he was so much more natural than I could ever be. I mean, so much more raw, more authentic, and less concerned about a device. He just didn't. He was just trying to get his brain get out of his brain onto the thing. Yeah. And so the last thing he would want to hear is, like,
he didn't want to tell me what to do.
Yeah, no, it's the last thing. It would never occur to him, and he was always trying to figure out how to be nice to me without listening to me.
He was very nice to you.
And it was funny because he had dementia, and we're going through these stacks and stacks of paintings, and at some point I'm just deciding I can't keep all of this stuff, and so we have these stacks of keepers and ones to let folks just go over and use or just throw away, and because the dementia work started to look like details of his other work.
Yeah.
It's strange, but there was no formula. But I would make a stack of ones to go and ones that I thought, oh, there's enough in him in there I should keep. If he was standing right behind me, he would have said the opposite. Oh, those go, you know?
Yeah.
It would have been the
Completely
opposite. Because he was looking for something else besides what I was doing. But it doesn't surprise me because I've never heard him critique anybody's work.
Yeah.
And kind of goes with my feeling that the only really thing the only attribute you really need to make art is will.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think it's a talent thing or a gift or anything like that, but if you wake up in the morning and you have to do it, that's the cachet.
That's my favorite saying. It was like, I think one of my favorite things I've heard you say is that like talent, or like being an artist or having talent and anything has nothing to do with being like born with it, or like, I don't know, because anybody can do it if they spend enough time figuring it out.
Yeah.
So it's like if you have the drive and the passion behind it, that's all that you need, and that's all that there is to become great at whatever you do.
She's got it.
You told me it.
I didn't tell you how.
So it's no joke. We're in your what I would call new space. There's something since we were here last.
Yeah.
It's changed inside. There's a different energy with other artists in there. It's got a new name on the door, and I'm just.
I'm a gallerist.
Yeah.
Gallerist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why now? Why? What's happening with you?
Because she triggered this, and it's just you can't imagine how rich this is for me. Because what am I going to do? I mean, I have a house, but I get to come here, so I come here like 7 days a week, and usually there's somebody here, and I feel like I'm a real advocate. A lot of times people come in with their children. Fact, 7 women have walked into this place in the last 2 years and started crying. It's a fact. People witness it all the time. And maybe, I can only think it's maybe that somebody might walk in here and think, well, it's actually possible. You can have a playroom if you want one. You know, if you make it your primary priority, and that could involve turning your own kitchen into a playroom. You know, it's just priorities. So just the fact that I get to come here, that I have the playroom, that I get to play music, and that everybody, only good things happen here. Everybody's so nice, and I just feel beyond lucky. Like it's impressive. I like the way it smells.
Lovely. And Sofia, all these years have passed for you. You're not at the studio anymore. You've ventured through your own experiences of living in a studio space, and now you share a space with others. Why don't you catch us up with what you're up to?
Well, my only experiences with making work is shared studio spaces, whether it's when I was growing up sharing the garage with you and Mom, or coming here and sharing the space with Diana and John and Marco and James and whoever walked in. And I wanted, all I've wanted since working in here is to make it happen other places. Have the same sensation of working alongside other people that I admire, and having the what's the word? I don't know.
Which is also the truth. Is artists do work way better in groups. I mean, it really can bounce off each other, and it's just a way to support each other. But also, when people in the community have a chance to see people work, it gives you an opportunity just to be a real advocate. Yeah. And since I don't think art school is really an option anymore, given how crazy expensive and such a difficult time for young people, that you almost have to. This is the community services. Show them how to do it. Set it up so people can walk in. Children can see it.
Yeah. I didn't go to art school. This was my art school. You guys taught me everything. Seriously. I learned everything.
We didn't teach it. Anyway.
You taught me a lot of stuff.
Anyway, listen, if you knew how I bragged about you, anybody said, you should have seen that kid that was in here before. Yeah.
So here we are, and there's art of Sofia's all over in the new gallery space up front here. And is there something in particular that strikes you want to speak to of her work?
Oh. This one might be several. She's unnaturally brave. Like, she's really a brave. She has a brave wrist, a brave hand, a brave arm, brave brain, just incredibly courageous, authentic thinking human being. So when she goes and does this stuff, there's nothing predictable about this. You couldn't find anything that even would set you up for how to look at this. And it has, I love the angles, how it draws you in. I love the seriousness of it. I love the walls, the almost cave painting stuff in the back, and then setting in this rectangle with the shadow. I love the edge. Somebody offered to stretch this for me, and he said, you might lose like a, I said, no. It has to be like this. Just the immediacy of this, everything about this thing. And then it's just so moving. Like, look at the ground on this thing. Like, she's so particular on every level, like what the surfaces, what the textures are, what the images are, and like watch her work. She works really fast, just like, I don't know, you don't know how to make it work. It's fast. And the work is always sexy. Maybe. Anyway, and I love how comfortable she is with that, and all the drawings that she, and even tons and tons of her small drawings. Each one is better than the next. Like, nothing predictable about it. It really comes from such a special source. You probably want me to stop. But then the sexy stuff I really love. And so we were going in here the other day trying to find a detail to do a show card, like to blow up. And so we were having a lot of fun because we were really locking in all that stuff. And her obsession with breasts, which I guess you guys can explain that better than me. And then all the way she does drapery and painting skills and bricks and background and texture, and then the vessel thing. Stop.
Thank you.
The best. Anyway, what do you think your best skills are? Great with a brush. She can paint laying down. She can paint standing. I mean, on a ladder.
My best skill.
But that's not the right word. You know you're a hell of a painter, right?
I feel like I'm working on it.
What can you do? Anyway.